Deep in the hills of Tennessee, near the town of Adams, lies a story that has haunted generations. A tale of whispers in the night, unexplained shadows, and terror that went far beyond anything the town had ever known. This is the true story of the Bell Witch haunting. John Bell was a farmer, a man of faith and family. He and his wife Lucy had a large family, including their young daughter Betsy. For years they lived a quiet life, but in the fall of 1817, strange things began to happen on the Bell farm. One evening, as John was working in his cornfield, he saw something strange out of the corner of his eye, a creature unlike anything he'd seen before. It looked like a large dog, but with a head more like that of a rabbit, and glowing eyes that watched him unblinking. What on earth is that?" John Bell said. He reached for his rifle, took aim, and fired. But when he walked to where it had been, there was nothing. No blood, no tracks. The creature had vanished. That night, his troubles truly began. Later that night, the Bell family was awakened by strange noises. A rhythmic scratching, as if something were clawing at the walls. Then came the sounds of chains dragging across the floor, and soft, haunting whispers that seemed to echo through the rooms. "John, do you hear that?" Lucy Bell whispered. "It's probably just the wind, Lucy. Nothing to worry about," John said. But the sounds only grew louder, more insistent, and night after night the Bell family felt a malevolent presence lurking in their home, and it seemed to have a particular interest in young Betsy. Betsy was the first to feel the physical touch of the spirit. One night, as she lay in bed, she felt an invisible hand tugging her hair, pulling it so hard she cried out in pain. "Stop! Leave me alone!" screamed Betsy. But the unseen force would not stop. Night after night, it would slap, pinch, and pull her hair, leaving bruises and scratches on her skin. John and Lucy, disturbed by Betsy's experiences, went to talk to the local reverend. "Reverend James, we've done everything we can. We've prayed, blessed the house, but it's still here. It's targeting Betsy, and it's getting worse. I've heard tales of spirits, but nothing like this. Have you tried speaking to it? Sometimes a spirit only needs to be acknowledged," the Reverend said. Reluctantly, John took the Reverend's advice. That night, he spoke into the empty darkness, asking the spirit what it wanted. "If you have something to say, say it. Why are you tormenting my family?" John Bell said. "I am the witch of the Bell family. I was wronged, and I will not rest until justice is done," said a witch. The spirit claimed to be a witch named Kate, wronged by the Bell family, but no one knew of any such person in their history. Regardless, the haunting continued, and soon the entire town was talking about the Bell Witch. Neighbors came to witness the strange occurrences for themselves. Some claimed they saw the chairs moving on their own, heard strange laughter echoing in empty rooms, and watched as objects were thrown across the room by unseen hands. But no one was more affected than Betsy and her father, John Bell. The witch seemed to despise John, taunting him nightly with threats and curses. His health began to deteriorate, his strength waning as the spirit grew bolder. "You will not see the end of this year, John Bell. I will see to that," the witch said. John grew weaker and weaker, his face pale, his hands trembling. The doctors were baffled, but John knew that his illness had nothing to do with medicine. "I don't understand. Why is it doing this to us? What have we done to deserve this?" Lucy Bell said while sobbing. John finally passed away in December of 1820, and in a shocking turn of events, at his funeral, those gathered claimed to hear a chilling voice laughing from the shadows, mocking the mourners as they wept over his grave. "I told you I would have my revenge, John Bell. You cannot escape me, even in death," the witch said, while mocking him. After John's death, the haunting quieted. The Bell family felt a strange calm, as if a dark presence had lifted. But the Bell Witch was not done. She appeared to Betsy one final time, whispering to her, telling her to call off her engagement to a local man she loved. I can't be with him. The witch won't allow it," Betsy said. Heartbroken, Betsy obeyed. The witch's influence was so powerful that she left behind the love of her life, haunted by the spirit's ominous warning. The Bell family went on with their lives, but they would never forget the spirit that haunted them. To this day, stories of the Bell Witch echo through Tennessee, whispered among those who fear the night. Some say she still roams the hills, seeking vengeance, while others swear they've heard her voice on dark, windy nights. The legend of the Bell Witch is one of the most enduring. Perhaps it was simply a trick of the mind, an invention of superstition. But when the wind howls through the trees and the shadows grow long, some say you can still hear her laughing, watching, waiting for her next victim.